I'm just gonna give a few introductory remarks and then we'll start with the presentation. Welcome to IM, Independence Amplified Maryland. It's a presentation put on by Maryland Centers for Independent Living. My name is Lydia Beliowska and I'm with Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living. We serve St. Mary's, Charles, and Calvert counties. Independence Amplify Maryland brings you today a program that affects the lives of all Marylanders, and we're very happy that you guys are with us. Thank you for joining us. We are recording the program. It will be put on YouTube. It usually takes about 48 hours to show up, so please be patient. All participants will be muted so we can minimize the distractions and the background noise, but you guys can unmute yourself and ask questions, or we encourage if you guys can put on your questions in the chat box, and then we have a time for questions and answers at the end of the presentation. We'll get to you, I promise. Now I just don't want to postpone it anymore. Let's get on to the presentation. Today, we have the pleasure of learning more about assistive technology. And it is my pleasure to introduce the speaker today, Stacy Tobin. She's the Independent Living and Assistive Technology Specialist here at the Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living. She's been with us since 2015. She's really passionate about assistive technology, as you will hear today. She provides also training and support through our 5 core services as an IL specialist, but her passion is definitely AT. She oversees the purchases of all assistive technology, all devices that we provide for our consumers, as well as home and vehicle modifications that promote the independence of our individuals to leave their home and get out in the community and participate fully. She maintains our assistive technology waiting list. She completes environmental assessments. She vets all the vendors who provide services to our consumers and ensures that all their modifications are compliant with ADA requirements and serve the needs of our consumers as well. She collaborates with agencies around our counties and makes every dollar stretch. I don't know how she does it, but she collaborates with Christmas in April, the Office on Aging, and other agencies, the Kiwanis Club, private companies that donate labor so that we can stretch our funds and serve more clients with assistive technology. In 2018, we began the Southern Maryland Regional AT Loan Library in partnership with Maryland TAP, and Stacy is responsible for all ordering of the equipment, maintaining, sanitizing, and the daily operations of the library. All the tours in our office, demonstrations, loans, and so on and so forth. She wears a lot of hats. She takes care of our social media and our website as well. She loves that. So she's very, very active. Her tenacity and attention to detail has proven why she's able to wear so many hats. So I'm gonna hand it over to her so she can talk to you guys about assistive technology.
Thank you, Lydia, for that lovely introduction. As Lydia said, I am the AT specialist here at Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living, and I am responsible for the AT library. I'm going to share my screen. We have a little PowerPoint for you guys. Give me just a second. Okay. So our topic today is assistive technology, what's it all about? And it's brought to you by the Maryland Centers for Independent Living, the Maryland Technology Assistance Program, which is part of the Maryland Department of Disabilities. So what is assistive technology? According to the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, the IDA, assistive technology is defined as any item, piece, or equipment or product system, whether acquired commercially off the shelf, modified, or customized, that is used to increase, maintain, or improve functional capabilities of individuals with disabilities. So here's our little flow chart. How do you gain access and acquire assistive technology devices for yourself, your family members, your clients to enhance their life, work, and play? It starts with information assistance. This is where you're going to contact either the state program at Maryland TAP or your local SIL for information about AT devices, their usage, home modifications, or vehicle modifications. The SIL will then discuss with you what device you might need and refer you to either a library or their community lending library or to Maryland TAP. Once you get to one of those places, you'll have a device demonstration. You'll discuss what your needs are and then try out a few different devices. See which one might work best. And then generally you're going to get a device loan. So you're going to take that device home and see how it works in your everyday life. Because the device that might work in my office might not work in your home life or your work life or your play life. So we want you to try it in your everyday life and make sure it works for you. Then you will acquire it, whether it be you purchase it yourself, whether you go to another agency, whether the SIL helps you, whether you take out a loan, you're going to acquire it. And then if you no longer need it, we actually have a reutilization program where you can give it back or sell it cheap to another individual who might need it. And then we also have state financing. So we have a program that can help you with that purchase if you're going to purchase it. So that's our little flow chart. So Maryland Technology Assistance Program is the statewide access to assistive technology through equipment demonstrations, loans, reuse, financing, and training. And their address is www.mdtap.org. And we're going to give a little more information about them, their contact at the end as well. So what do they do in Maryland? Maryland TAP maintains 4 regional offices and libraries across the state. We have the Central Baltimore main office, the Southern Maryland, the Western Maryland, and the Eastern Shore AT libraries. Where they service includes trainings, demos, loans, and outreach. They also host 4 additional community AT lending libraries across the state at the additional SILs not mentioned. AT demonstrations and customized consultations with on-staff AT specialists, both in person and virtually. They issue short-term device loans up to 4 weeks at a time. And they host in-depth AT sessions exploring a variety of AT topics in person and virtually. So they have a blog and they do 30-minute trainings regularly at Maryland TAP. They also maintain the Mater Facebook page. It's an equipment exchange site through the Facebook yard sales. So I want to just share this with you real quick so you can kind of get a see. It's a group. It's not a page. It's a group. So you do have to ask for an invitation. Sorry, I'm getting notifications. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's the Mater Facebook page. And you can see people are able to list. Here's a wheelchair ramp, a portable wheelchair ramp or modular ramp. They're giving it away for free. So they were able to list the information. They paid, I guess they're not giving away for free. It says free down here, but they're selling it for $650. They paid $225. Somebody has a Bruno curbside boom air style lift for sale, a used stair lift. So you can go on here and see things that are lightly used that you can purchase or give away, and you can purchase them as well. Things like diapers, anything you can think of, a scooter. So you do have to join the group. So you can just find Mater, M-A-T-E-R, Maryland Assistive Technology Equipment Reuse on Facebook, and they will accept your invitation to the group. And then you can check out all the stuff that's being sold and given away. So let's go back. So that's the Facebook page that they maintain. And here's their website. So they do virtual AT library. They have a directory for home modifications. They have a loan closet directory. So if you're not sure where a loan closet is near you, you can go on and check out where a loan closet might be close to you. And they also have webinars that they keep in their archive. So you can go to this website, www.mdtap.org, mdtap.org. And right up here in the right-hand corner, they have the, once you go to their homepage, they have the archived webinars. So you can go back and see the things that they've shared about assistive technology. So here's what an AT loan library looks like. As you can see, I'm in our AT library today. So behind me is our shelf. And this month we are featuring, I'm going to move a little bit, magnifiers. So you can see that's what we have out There's all kinds of different size magnifiers and CCTVs, anything that would deal with low vision. But you can also see eye devices with lots of apps. The options for apps are endless. Proloco to go, KNFB reader, touch chat, JAWS, screen readers, iPads with Go Talk, verbally, and just to name a few that we have and have had people request. But the apps are endless, and if we don't have it, we can find it for you. Here's a few of the other items that are in our AT library and in the Maryland Top AT library, and I'm assuming something similar in the Western Maryland and the Eastern Shore libraries. So you see here is the Optelec Traveler. We have Liftware that helps people that need help getting the food to their mouth. It helps steady their hands if they have tremors or shakes. This is either Proloco to go or Go Talk on a device, so on an iPad, so it helps somebody communicate. This is the Telestix. It's one of my favorite low-tech devices for people that can't bend over. It helps them reach. It has a magnifier on it, or a magnet on it, and also it has a sticky pad. So if you don't want to bend over and pick up your keys, or you can't bend over and pick up your keys without falling, it'll pick up your keys, it'll pick up paper, just about anything you can think of. It'll scoop it up or it'll magnetize it. You see here the Pen Friend, which is a memory aid. It has little stickers that you put on things around you, and somebody programs it. And so when you touch the Pen Friend to that little sticker, it's going to tell you what the item is. It may even give you instructions. So it's great for seniors or individuals that have some memory issues. You can give them directions on how to open a can of Campbell's soup, heat it up in the microwave, and make their lunch. So it helps them to have some extra instructions. Here you see the Reveal 16i with the XY table, which is actually behind me. So it helps magnify. It also has the OCR function, so it'll read the document to you as you magnify it and look at it. Different keyboards that allow you to see better. They're larger keys or larger print or different colors because you have a vision issue. You can see here an advertisement for JAWS, which is a screen reading application for your computer or laptop. We actually do have Amazon Alexa devices, and Echo, the Dot, that helps you with your room control. So you can program, if you have smart plugs like you see down here, you can program lights to come on and off by just telling Alexa to turn it on. This is another favorite. Actually, this is Pam's favorite in our office, the Pocket Talker. Literally, if somebody has a hearing issue, you put those headphones on them and I can whisper into that microphone and they can hear me loud and clear. So if you have a client or a consumer or a family member that has hearing issues but doesn't feel they need hearing aids, or they lose their hearing aids, or they're just not ready for hearing aids, this would allow you to have a conversation with them. You also can see this is a Med Alert. So you can fill a pillbox and set an alarm and lock it so that the individual is going to hear an auditory and visual alarm, and it's going to go off until they take that medication out of the spot, but they're only going to get the medication that's in that slot. So you're assured that that loved one is not going to take 3 different doses because they can't get to the next dose until the appropriate time. And you're also assured that they're going to at least get that medication out of the box. Now, it doesn't make sure that they put it in their mouth, but it does make sure that they get it at the time they're supposed to. You see here the C-Pen, which helps with reading. And again, I told you about the smart plugs that go with the Amazon Alexa. So those are just a few of the devices that you can find in an AT loan library. So now we want to talk about funding. The state has an AT financial loan program that can provide low interest loans to Maryland residents with disabilities or their families to buy assistive technology. It covers all types of AT. So it includes vehicles, it includes computers, it can put a a lift system, a track that goes in the ceiling to help with the lift. It can modify a bathroom. It can do any type of home modification that makes your home more accessible to you, and so much more. The interest rates, I am told, are between 3 and 4%. I am told that this loan is typically easier for an individual with disabilities.
1, 2, 3.
And that loan amounts range between 50,000, 500 and 50,000. I actually think it can go up to 60,000. I think the slide needs to be updated. And here's a link to that. You can also just go to marylandtap.org, mdtap.org, and there will be a place to click for the financial loan program on their website if you can't get to this link. So what can you buy with a financial loan? A home modification. So that stair lift, that ramp, that bathroom modification, like a Hoyer ceiling mounted Hoyer lift, whatever it is that you need your home to be modified so that you can access your home, can be borrowed from the loan for. You can get a vehicle adapted. You can purchase the vehicle and have it modified through the financial loan program. Scooters and wheelchairs, the lifts that go with them so that you can take them out into the community with you. You can, sorry guys, you can purchase Braille equipment, vision aids like CCTVs and magnifiers, something as simple as a hearing aid, communication devices, smart home devices, recreational AT like adapted bikes or adapted gaming systems, and so much more. The loan is really about making your life as independent as possible. So if you have a disability or a family member with a disability, the loan programs are there for you. We also have AT grants through our CILs. So each of the Centers for Independent Living has funding, a grant that we receive through the Department of Rehabilitative Services. Now each CIL does have the ability to run their grant as they see fit. So they do assist with the purchase of assistive technology. They assist with modifications to home or modifications to vehicles. Each CIL sets their limitations and their qualifications. So if you're interested in a grant for assistive technology, you should contact your local CIL and speak to their assistive technology specialist so that you can figure out what their specific grant requirements are. And remember that we do almost always have a wait list, so don't wait. Make sure you contact your specialist today if you're interested in an AT grant. Maryland TAP, Maryland Technology Assistance Program, also runs the Maryland High Tech AT Reuse Center called MATER. They have bigger items at this center. So things like used CCTVs, video magnifiers, your eye devices, your adapted computer keyboards and switches, your speech and communication devices, your amplified telephones, and so much more. You are able to search the items online, but they are only accepting in person by appointment only. So if you need to schedule a consultation or a pickup, or if you have a donation, you need to send an email to mdtap.at-reuse@maryland.gov. So that's marylandtap.at-reuse@maryland.gov. And they will schedule a time for you to either bring your donation in or a consultation or a pickup. And that location is located in Columbia. I believe Denise Schuler is the one who runs that location. In partnership collaboration with Maryland Accessible Telecommunications, Maryland TAP maintains the Central Baltimore Adapted Telephone Evaluation Center. And Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living hosts the Southern Regional Maryland Accessible Telecommunication Centers. So what does that mean? Maryland Accessible Telecommunication has evaluators that provide free assessments and help with purchases of communication devices. So it's not just telephones. They do specialize in telephones, both landline and cell phones, but they also have Google Homes, iPads, anything that helps with communication. So these types of devices are available for people with hearing loss, vision loss, physical disabilities, and intellectual or developmental disabilities. There is an application that you have to complete. So if you need help with that application, you can contact your local Center for Independent Living, and I'm sure somebody can help you. I know I do those applications here, but I'm sure the independent living specialist could help you with that. You can also complete the application online, and then you'll get you'll be reached out to, and one of their evaluators will either come to your home or meet you at one of those location centers to evaluate you and make an assessment, make a determination on the device you need and whether you qualify for them to purchase it for you. Okay, so here's the contact information for Maryland Technology Assistance Program. Now this is the main office or the central office in Baltimore. And you can see here are the phone numbers and the email. And again, that website is the marylandtap.org or mdtap.org. The Southern Maryland Regional Office and Loan Library is hosted here at Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living. I am the AT specialist that runs that, and this is my contact information. And our Facebook page and website. And here's the Eastern Shore Regional Office and Loan Library that is hosted at Bay Area Center for Independent Living. Their AT specialist is Corey Higgins, and this is his contact information. Corey was unable to be on the call today, but he did share some information with me that I wanted to share with you guys. So their AT Loan Library has been around for years. They actually started an AT library before they started partnering with Maryland Technology Assistance Program. So they have tons of different types of devices, but they have some special things that I wanted to tell you about. They have an adapted clothing line. So if you're on the Eastern Shore and you need help with adaptive clothing, they actually have pieces that you can come in and see and touch and see how they work. And they actually have something called a Byron Jones. Byron Jones is a soft mannequin that allows you to dress him or her. He's either or, and you can put dresses on, pants, anything, and try the adaptive clothing line. It's good for not just the individuals with disabilities, but their caregivers and nurses to come in and practice dressing Byron Jones in that adaptive clothing line. They also have Braille printers, tons of human-wear tablets and CCTVs. They recently obtained a robot that helps you with feeding. So if you have difficulty feeding yourself, the robot actually allows you to eat independently without an aid there. They do non-Medicaid assessments, just like we do here at Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living, and I'm sure they do as well at Resources for Independence. And they do presentations for schools and civic associations. So those were just some of the things that they wanted me to let you guys know that they have there on the Eastern Shore. And then we have our Western Maryland Regional Office and Loan Library at Resources for Independence, and this is their contact information. And then we have our community lending libraries that are going in at all of the other CILs. So at Image Center, they serve Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Harford County, and that is their contact information. At Independence Now, they serve Montgomery County and Prince George's County, and their contact person is Denise Sosby, and that's her email address there. We have Accessible Resources for Independence, or ARI. They serve Howard County, Anne Arundel County, and their contact person is Betsy Hine, and there's her information. And then we have the Freedom Center, and they serve Frederick County and Carroll County, and Paulette Shepard is their contact person, and that is her information. So I'd like to open it up before I show any of the other devices to any of the other AT loan libraries or community lending library staff. If you would like to share a little bit about what makes your center's AT library special, I'd like to open it up now to you guys just to see if anybody wants to share about their libraries. Anyone?
have a question. You said
Okay.
my name is Shio Hassan. You said you work with people out there with developmental disabilities. You ever work with certification of the deaf? You ever heard of them? CCSD Inc.
No, I have not heard from them. I work for the Southern Maryland Center. So I work with people in Charles, Calvert, and St. Mary's.
Oh yeah, this one is in Baltimore County.
Okay, yeah. So I wouldn't be familiar with that.
Okay. You said you work in Howard County too?
I don't, but one of the other SILs does.
Well, can you recommend them Phillips School Laurel?
I'm sorry? Can you say that
Phillips
again?
School of Laurel.
Kyoki, this is Heather from Image. We're talking about assistive technology today.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we're talking about our assistive technology libraries.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Stephanie, did you want to add anything about our library? No, you're here today.
Yeah, we are in Towson in Baltimore County. We are working on expanding our library right now. I've got working with Denise to expand our list of items that we have in the Baltimore County Library.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you currently have? I think you guys have a lot of adaptive dining, correct?
We do. We have a complete kitchen set up in our office with cooking utensils and adaptive microwave. And we have not. I know I haven't worked in it since we all I started and then we shut down for COVID, so we haven't been back in the office and haven't had anybody in there. But yes, we're able to do a complete kitchen and lessons on cooking and all kinds of things. I'm trying to expand some of that now and see what other things that Denise suggests we get.
Great. What about any of the other cells, maybe at Independence Now or ARI? Do you guys want to talk about the things you currently have and maybe what you're going to expand to?
I'm Denise Sosby, and I'm with Independence Now. We serve Prince George's and Montgomery County. And we too are working with Denise to try to really grow our program and provide more things. We have minimal equipment. We do offer cooking classes, and folks there have, benefited from some of the devices that we have for cooking, and but we're really in the process of growing that and marketing that.
That's great. Thanks, Denise. We'll be excited to hear what you guys get this summer.
Yes.
Katie, what about your staff? Do you guys have any current devices in your library?
Hi, this is Betsy.
Hi, Betsy.
So I will echo what Stephanie and Denise said, that we are also working with Denise Schuler at MD Tap to expand our library. We got a grant from them a few years ago, so we currently have quite a bit of AT for demonstration purposes. We have a lot of cooking things, vision things, a lot of the things that you showed on your previous slides.
Right.
We have in our library. So I don't know, we service Anne Arundel and Howard County. So if anybody has any ideas of what they'd like to see in our lending library, we are open to what to buy that's going to be helpful for people. The other thing that I'll mention that we have, we also do the grants and we have the demonstration library. We also house the MAT evaluation center for Anne Arundel and Howard County, and I do those evaluations. And then I don't think that I heard you mention the statewide ramp loan program.
I did not.
So that's also something that I think all of the SILs
I
have.
think they do as well.
We got MD Tap got a grant from the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, and they used the money to purchase portable ramps. So I believe all of the SILs have ramps that range from threshold to 12 feet that can be borrowed for up to 120 days. that are used for somebody who has had surgery and can't walk yet, and they need a temporary way in and out of their house. Maybe you have a family member coming to visit who is in a wheelchair or uses a walker, or maybe you're looking to get a permanent solution onto your house and you need something temporarily to get in and out of the house. So that's a fabulous program that is also out there.
Yes, so the portable ramp program, you will want to contact your local SIL if you know somebody or you yourself need a portable ramp or think you may in the future. Definitely contact your local SIL because we have information and can tell you what ramps we have available and whether they are appropriate for your situation or not. What about Freedom Center? Anybody from Freedom Center on that can talk about your library if you have anything in it currently? I know a lot of the libraries are still working with Denise. I just wanted to give you guys a moment to shout out any things that you currently have.
Hi, it's Dave from Freedom Center.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, and I apologize because I had to step out, so I missed a lot of the presentation.
That's okay.
We're still currently working with Denise, so we don't have our library set up yet. We currently have some AT devices that we can loan out or for demonstration purposes, some for assisting with feeding and some utensils, some communication devices, some hearing devices, those kinds of things, but it's very small and limited. We're hoping to really expand that and then put it all together in the very near future. And I do want to clarify also, Freedom Center did not originally participate in the ramp program, so we were the SIL that did not have those ramps, the portable ramps. We are in the process of purchasing them. So that
but you are getting them, you're in the process of getting them, correct?
Yes, but we do not currently do
They
that.
don't currently have them, but if you have a need, maybe they can contact you and get on a wait list.
Absolutely, that would be great. Thanks.
Did I, what about the Western Maryland Library? Would you like to talk about your Learn Library today? Is anybody on? From Resources for Independence, RFI?
While they're trying to get on the call or chime in, we do have a few questions for Stacy.
Okay.
So Abiola asked, what AT is available to support persons who are both blind and deaf?
Blind and deaf. So we do have video magnifiers that have OCR function that will allow you to read along as well. So the magnifiers both magnify, highlight, and read along at the same time. So we have them in our library. We have them in different sizes. We have a 8-inch, a 10-inch, and a 13-inch, and then also the reveal that you see back here has the same functions. Of course, we also have the Maryland Accessible Telecommunications, so they can help with phones and communication devices. We also have the iPads with apps, so they have apps where somebody can communicate back and forth. One of those apps actually has it's Flip Writer, so the iPad is sitting here and I can type on this side and the other person can respond and we can see it. We don't have to flip the iPad. It's shown so that you can see it or hear it and you can follow along and read. It'll read aloud. I don't personally have Braille writers in our library, but the main library does have Braille writers and printers, and those can be borrowed at any time that's necessary. So if you are fluent in Braille, we have options for that as well. I can tell you that if there's something specific that you're looking for and I don't know about it because I'm just learning, I can get in touch with Maryland TAP, or we can reach out to speech pathologists or hearing specialists or vision specialists to get their opinions on what might work for you. And we can look to try to get it here in our libraries.
Thank you, Stacy. So a similar questions from Deborah. What AT is available to support persons who are both hard of hearing and have a mental health condition?
and have a mental health,
Yes.
that you're going to want to call your AT specialist, because it would really depend on the mental health disability, and you would have to get a little bit more in depth about what the needs exactly are. So that's why we have AT specialists available to kind of talk to you about it. And if we don't know about it, we have resources that we can reach out and work with you to try to help you find the device that's right for you. If we don't have it here, we can borrow it from the main library. I know that the main loan libraries get funding each year, so maybe it's something that we can purchase to let you try before you take out a loan or get assistance purchasing it. But that's going to be something that you're going to want to talk to your AT specialist about, the specific need, because there's such a wide range of mental health disabilities that I couldn't speak to all of them in one setting. So if you're in Southern Maryland, you're welcome to contact me. If you're in one of the other SILS areas, contact their person, or you can contact Maryland TAP, the Maryland Technology Assistance Program, directly, and they do the same things we do here.
Thank you. Another question is from Rhonda. She's asking if income is a requirement to get AT loans or equipment.
So the loan obviously does have to be repaid. So they're going to ask for income requirements. It could be family, though. It doesn't necessarily have to be individual. Each Center for Independent Living has an assistive technology grant, and they have their own specific grant requirements. So if you're talking about the AT grants to the SILs, you're going to want to contact your local SIL to see what their requirements are. Some of them have income requirements and some of them don't. So you would need to reach out to the specialist at that Center for Independent Living to see what the income guidelines are for that grant.
Thank you. Another question from Carrie. Do they have hospital beds that can be loaned out to hotels so that people with multi-disabilities can go on vacation?
I don't know the answer to that. I do not keep durable medical equipment in our facility, and we just don't have the space. I don't know if that's something that maybe with the local reuse center, you could, if they have one available, that it could be worked out to be delivered to the hotel while you were in Maryland. And I don't know nationwide what programs would be available, but if you want to contact maybe your local SIL, the AT or IL specialist could probably do some research with you and help you make some recommendations on that. I don't know if hotels provide hospital beds or if that's something that you would need to arrange.
So Katie was actually chiming in for regarding that question.
Oh, go Katie.
She was saying that there's a law that makes hotels have more accessible beds, and there's a bill asking for a delay in its implementation. So it's in the Economic Matters Committee. So she will need our help to defeat that piece of legislation. So we need some advocacy warriors here.
So definitely you want to reach out to your cell and let them help you with some advocacy.
Stacy, I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, and I sent this in the box to Lydia.
Okay.
What is it? Is there a computer for or a link for people that want to use blind and deaf that want to use computers?
I don't know of a specific computer myself, but there are programs that can help with computers. I'm not sure how that would work, but I could, you could contact your local cell or contact Maryland TAP and we could do some research, depending on what exactly are the needs.
Are you also working with school children that are blind and deaf, like the Maryland School for the Blind and Deaf out there?
I don't specifically work with them. I do make referrals to them, but we do work with our local schools and we do presentations to the parents and the students there for the assistive technology loan libraries that we have here in our center.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
There is some great information in the chat, guys. If you are want to check it out, there's some links to, for example, for folks who live in Baltimore City, Baltimore County, there's a link to a church that loans out hospital beds as well that you can borrow. So that's a great resource. And there's also information regarding the bill that Katie mentioned, that I mentioned earlier. So please get in the chat and look into some of these resources, please.
It looks like Tarita from Maryland Relay said there are devices that can be connected to a Braille reader or writer. I believe some of the Braille readers or writers are able to connect to computers. So there's lots of different types of assistive technology, and I am in no way an expert. I'm learning as I go, but we are excited to continue to expand our library. In our current library, we have a wide range of items. So this month, we have here at Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living, we have a newsletter that comes out every Tuesday from our AT Loan Library. It's called AT Library Corner. And every month we focus on a different disability. So in March, we've been talking about low vision. And each week we feature some devices that help with low vision. We talk about some myths and facts. We talk about how to get devices and how to get support for individuals dealing with low vision. And we talk about what we have here in the loan library. So like I said, here on my table, I'm actually featuring the devices that help with low vision this month, but we have some great devices that some of my favorites that I like to show since we have a little bit of time. So we have the Liftware. This is the Liftware Level. And of course so you can see the spoon bends. So if you have a disability.
It's Sarah. I was going to say, if you're done with the PowerPoint, close it, because then we can see you bigger. Thank you.
Absolutely. Sorry.
The devices.
I already did it. You're good, Stacy.
Oh, good. Thank you. Because it's on my screen still. So this is a piece of Liftware. This is level. There's also Liftware Steady. So I think you guys can see that as my hand moves, there's a strap. So if I was having trouble with that smooth motion, the spoon is going to bend to try to keep as much of the food on it as possible. We also have Liftware Steady, which I don't have out, but that helps for individuals that have tremors or shakes, so that as you're bringing that spoon to your mouth, it's keeping the majority of the food on the spoon. So we have those available for demo and loan. We have devices that talk to you. So I brought out one of our alarm clocks, and you can hear, I think it's a minute fast, but it does say that it's 2:48. Well, I guess it just changed. Anyways, so we have a talking alarm clock. We have a talking watch. We have a talking scale, which we all love to use in our offices with the door shut so nobody else can hear her weighing. But
it's loud. Everybody can hear how much you weigh.
Yeah. It's nice for individuals. Like I had an individual that had a vision issue, and he was on dialysis. And so he needed to do daily weights. So the talking scale was perfect for him so that he could keep track of his weight for his doctor. And yet, he couldn't see it, so he could hear it. PenFriend, like I described earlier, PenFriend is a favorite. It has these coded dots, and you will need somebody to help set up this device, but you turn it on, you put it to the dot, and it's going to give whatever instructions have been coded on that dot. So it could be as simple as this is a can of soup to this is how you cook the can of soup, or to a prescription bottle, so that you know not only what's in that bottle, but what is the directions. Are you supposed to take one tablet, and how often are you supposed to take it? And it may even give instructions to one yellow round tablet versus an oval or a square or a triangle or whatever it would be. So this helps our individuals that have some vision issues, or some memory issues. I will say that it is not perfect for people that have severe Alzheimer's or dementia, but for those people that are just having some memory issues, that PenFriend is great. I have the C-Pen. This is great for individuals that have reading difficulties. So it can help students as they're taking a test, or they can get it put in their IEP that they can use the PenFriend to help with assignments. But it's also great for maybe a senior that's had a stroke, or an individual that's had a stroke that's lost some of that ability to read. They can take it. It's very small, can fit in a pocket or a purse, can help. It can be hooked to a set of headphones, and it can, read a menu or read something, on a sign that they, but you don't want it to be loud to where everybody's going to hear it and know that you're having that difficulty. But it also, you can download to it. So it's going to read for you and you can see what you're reading and hear it at the same time. So this is a great little device that we have. I talked earlier about our Telestix, which is one of my favorite. I've always like dropping keys and, I can bend over and pick them up, but sometimes I'm just lazy and don't want to climb under, and I can pick up my keys. Or like, when it's under a device, it's under your desk, and maybe crawling under the desk is not safe for you. I don't think it's safe for anybody. But you're gonna, it has a very strong magnet. It also has a sticky end. So it can pick up things as small as just a piece of paper. And you can replace this piece as well. So the Telestix is very affordable. It's less than $20, but it is a great device to help for those people that have issues with balance or bending, or like I said, getting under small things.
Hey, Stacy, before you put that away, it's Bong.
Yeah.
How long does that extend? Just out of curiosity. Or how far does it extend?
36.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it extends pretty far.
It
Stacy,
telescoping.
you also work with people with Parkinson's disease,
It could definitely help people with all disabilities, I think.
including
People that
dementia.
don't have disabilities.
Including
It can also
dementia.
scoop. It's got the magnet, but it also can scoop with the little and I'm trying to do it up high so you guys can see, but it can scoop things up as well with the hook.
Oh, wow. Does it also help people with dementia? Like, or in nursing homes or
I
stuff
mean,
like that?
it's not going to help them remember anything, but it's going to help them with picking up things, like if they see something. So this one's a favorite of mine that's in the library, and it's so easy. We have dressing aids, so I got out our button hook. So it can help, and I was like, I didn't wear a shirt with buttons, so I can't show you guys, but it helps with dressing. It has two different ends to help with buttons or getting your shirt together.
Hey, Stacy, before we move on to the next one, we have a few questions.
Go ahead.
That's so fun. I love when you show all these. But I just wanted to get to the question and the announcement
Absolutely.
before it gets too late.
I can't.
So Abiola is asking if a consumer needs to borrow a device and they need help learning how to use it, does Maryland Tap do house calls at this time, or is it all virtual?
No, we are not doing house that I know of. None of the centers are doing house calls.
As well as Maryland Tap, is Denise doing anything in person?
They're not doing anything in person that I know of. I believe almost everything is virtual, and they're sending everything out either they will arrange some pickups, but mostly they're sending it via UPS or FedEx. They will, but what you can do is you do the assessment with them. They'll do it virtually with you, borrow it, and then once you get it in your home, you can set up more sessions virtually to work with you while you're learning how to use that device. So Maryland Tap or any of the loan libraries should be able to set up at least virtual sessions. I know that our center, I am doing some environmental assessments. It's kind of situation dependent.
Yeah, we're getting back into it, but
right.
It's going to be a little slow.
My first vaccine. Once I've had my second vaccine,
right.
We will be doing a little bit more in home depending on the situation. So I would say reach out. But I believe Maryland Tap is still doing everything virtual.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought. Thank you. Katie wanted to make an announcement before 3 o'clock. Go ahead, Katie.
I had to find my unmute. I had mentioned this earlier in the call, but I wanted to make sure that everyone has heard, and maybe you have not heard, but beginning March 30th, they have expanded eligibility for 2B for vaccines to all Marylanders 16 and older receiving SSI, SSDI, Maryland Medicaid employed individual with disabilities, Maryland Medicaid rare and expensive case management recipients, Marylanders receiving temporary disability assistance program benefits, or Marylanders receiving long-term care services and supports through the state's Medicaid waiver and state plan services. So that was something that those groups of people were not necessarily on the priority list. And because of great advocacy work by the SILs, we were able to at least get them moved up to March 30th. So just letting everyone know, it might still be hard to get an appointment, but as of March 30th, that entire group of people is now included in priority categories.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I do see the chat. I opened it up. So I see, Rhonda, you asked about where to pick up the stick today. We purchased it on Amazon, and it's called Telestik, Telestik. So that's where we found it. You may actually be able to find it in like your Walgreens pharmacy or possibly in Walmart, but you can definitely find it on Amazon. I did just post a link in the chat. We are doing a training on magnifiers. It's a 30-minute training, a closer look at the different kinds of magnifiers and their features on this Wednesday. So that's March 24th at 1 p.m. So that's the link to register. If anybody's interested, it's open to anybody in the state, family members, friends, anybody that just wants to get a closer look at the different kinds of magnifiers and apps for low vision. That link is in there.
Hey, Stacy, I had somebody send a question directly to me.
Okay.
She had two questions. She said, does MDTAP or other national AT organizations publish data about the most requested or used AT devices? And second, does MDTAP have a strong partnership with schools to know what devices exiting students may lose access to after leaving school, post-secondary school?
So MDTAP is specific to Maryland. And I don't know that they've ever put out a list of the most requested devices. But I'm sure Denise could give you like a top 10 if you were to ask her. And I think, or I know regionally it's kind of different. I know the main library in Baltimore gets a lot of different requests than we do out here in Southern Maryland. And I'm sure Bay Area still gets different requests than Resources for Independence. So that I can only speak to the state. I don't know about nationally if there's a list. And then as far as Maryland TAP in the schools, I know that they have done presentations to some of the schools, and I know I have done some presentations to the schools here in Southern Maryland. And of course, we have a, here at Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living, we do have a relationship with the special education coordinators. So we work with them. We do sit in some IEPs so we can help with that process as they're getting ready to graduate and kind of helping them make sure they have what's necessary so they can transition. And then we help them through our SIL grants if we have the funding available. Or we make referrals to other agencies. So it's possible that the other SILs or the other libraries have those relationships, but I can't speak to that specifically nationally, or even that Maryland TAP has that close of a relationship to the schools.
Betsy posted a comment. Betsy Hine from ARI said that MDTAP is holding a webinar on April 29th at 1 called "What If My AT Doesn't Transition With Me?"
Right. I don't have access to the date, so I didn't. Thank you so much, Betsy, because I didn't want to say it without knowing the date. So I do see some, there are some people that are putting some community information for their specific SILs. So if you guys want to chime in, I am finished with my presentation unless there are some more questions, but if you guys want to chime in and make your announcements, please feel free to do so.
Hi, this is Audrey from Accessible Resources for Independence. I wanted to share about some community events we have going on at ARI. This week we have 4 events. Tomorrow we have an Among Us gaming group. If you haven't played Among Us, it's really fun. It's like a 4 to 10 player game. It's really cooperative, really quick, really easy to learn about aliens in space, and come to find out more. It's complicated, but it's fun. And then Wednesday, we have an info session for the Maryland Apprenticeship and Training Program. Thursday, we have inclusive yoga. And then Friday, we have inclusive cardio. So I put these links to our website in the chat box. If you go to www.arinow.org, scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see all our events. You got to register for access info though. So I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any announcements?
Sure. On Thursday, Independence Now is hosting its next monthly housing seminar for seniors. And so I'm going to post in the chat a link to register for it. I think my co-facilitator, Deborah Potts, I don't know if she wants to say anything else about it, but that's going to be this Thursday online, I believe 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. Affordable housing options for seniors. And I'm posting the link right now.
Great, thank you guys.
Liz,
Those
did
are
you see
wonderful
her
events.
background? We need one of those backgrounds.
Dr. Sarah.
All right, anybody else before I close today's session? That was great information. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you to all the other STILs for participating and sharing your information. I see other links going in the chat. That's great. Please take advantage of all these resources and opportunities. And thank you for participating in IAM. If you guys are able to contribute financially, that will help greatly the program with the funding so we can keep it going. And I think Heather can tell us what the next week's program is. I'm not sure if I know the topic.
I don't have an official blurb yet, but we have some representatives from HASA, the Hearing Assistance, I'm going to butcher it.
Hearing and
Program.
speech agency.
Thank you, Mike. and we're going to have, I think MD TAP is going to be on, and the MAC program, the Maryland Accessible Telecommunications Program. So it's going to be all about resources for hearing loss and supports for that.
That's great because we touched on.
That's a great follow-up. Great follow-up of today's session. Wonderful. Thank you all for participating, the presenters, the guests, and we hope to see you next week.
Thank you, guys. You did a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the weather.